that's pretty damn good. They've had some unfortunate luck, but our job is to make sure that we're taking care of business. But that defense is very, very impressive.
Some key things taken away from last week's win over Atlanta, looking at 34 sacks that the offensive line has given up or the offense has given up. What are some areas that you can improve on in that particular area?
Well, obviously, you never want to have the high number of sacks that we have. First and foremost, the young quarterback is still learning how to play the game. And then on top of that, he just needs to continue to improve with his mechanics and the things that he's doing. I think that'll help everything out. And then our O-line, they're doing a heck of a job. They just need to continue protecting. But on top of that, as you know, this game goes hand in hand. It doesn't make a difference who's making the mistake. We all get the blame for it. So when it's all said and done, we got to make sure that we're giving our guys the right info, the right detail, so they can just continue to improve. But the thing I like is our guys, our mindsets is in the right place.
How are you coaching Sam to improve in those areas?
Well, you coach him day to day just like we normally do. You bring him outside for individual drill. You point out the issues that always show up on tape at times, and then you just address them and you continue working with a young quarterback as you're supposed to.
What other than taking fewer sacks could help you guys be more efficient on first and second down?
Well, first of all, we got to be good in whatever we call. So I got to be a better play caller. We got to be better at executing. And then we just got to come out and start fast. There's been some times throughout the course of the season we've came out on fire. For whatever reason, we just haven't got that consistent momentum going. So, I have to do a better job of calling plays, getting our guys in rhythm. On top of that, our guys got to come out and play with that energy and that same fire and desire. And one thing we all know, we're all in this together. So whatever that is, we have to start fast. We have to start strong. On top of that, we got to learn how to maintain and finish stronger throughout the course of the game.
You mentioned the defense. I know Wink likes to run a lot of man on the back end. What sort of challenge does that present to the receivers, and has there been much conversation with them about that challenge?
Oh, yeah. One thing when you're playing against this defensive coordinator who's a heck of a defensive coordinator, a good friend, Wink has been doing this for a long time. He's very creative with the schemes that he designs, and one thing that is that he's going to try and get after a young quarterback. So we have to prepare ourselves for anything and everything, and even the unscouted looks. So our job is to make sure our guys are sound in what we're doing. On top of that, it's our job to make sure that we're giving the quarterback answers right away. So now he doesn't have to think as much. Now he can go out there, react, and play. So, this coordinator is a good one, but when it's our job to make sure that we go out there and not allow the coordinator to have an impact on what we want to accomplish. We want to come out and establish our rhythm, making sure that we're in sync and we're doing the necessary things that's going to help lead us to victory.
What are some of the keys you look for for the receivers, though, as in man coverage? I mean, what has to happen for them to get open and make sure their spacing and timing is accurate?
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot that needs to take place. And obviously, Coach Bobby does a great job of working with those guys throughout the course of the week. Obviously, Bobby played a long time, so his knowledge and wisdom and expertise in that area is one to look up to. But you have to have a plan versus man coverage. And what am I talking about when having a plan? You got to understand exactly what type of technique they're playing. Then you got to make sure that you're working on releasing at the line of scrimmage. You got to win at the line of scrimmage. On top of that, now you got to win at the second level. Because regardless of penalties being called or not called, guys are going to grab. They're going to do that. That's a part of the game. So we got to have a plan at the line of scrimmage. All right. Then we got to execute that plan. But then we got to have a plan at the second level on how we're going to escape and release to the appropriate depth in the route that we're running. So you always got to work on that. And the thing about it, we have to play with speed. So what other better way to beat man coverage? You got to play with great speed. Okay. But you got to be violent with your hands as well. Hand-to-hand combat.
And sticking with the receivers, and are you starting to see like some of the little subtleties between the receiver and the quarterback, maybe some little adjustments on the fly that show maybe they're starting to get a little bit more in sync with things?
You know what? I think every week you learn something different. So, I mean, this is just week 6. Still got a lot of season left. I think our guys are learning each other. I think they're continuing to learn the expectations of what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so, yeah, there's some things that we're learning, but there's also some things that you're seeing improvement with. And the thing that I'm excited about is just watching these guys, how, into it they are. They're just so mentally and physically, just ready to work because, these guys know the difference between when they did something good and when they haven't played as well. So these guys are anxious about making sure that they're doing the little things that's going to help them moving forward. So those are the things that I'm learning. And the thing that I like about it is just showing how much we compete and how many competitors we have on this team.
And then, looking at the man, the yards after the catch for the receivers has been really good after man versus zone. What kind of things can you do to kind of maybe increase their ability to do that? Is it some of it just Sam getting through the reads quicker, or what else can be done to help that?
Well, I think it's a combination of everything. Those guys on the other side of the ball get paid too. So they play pretty good defense. And then on top of that, our guys, obviously, there's little things that we can continue to work. You can always work on, like I said, release work. Releases. And I know it sounds easier said than done, but there's a hand-to-hand combat that takes place when you're at the line of scrimmage. All right. Then there's also another hand-to-hand combination that takes place when you're in space. And so you have to work on releases. And then after the catch, okay, what type of proximity are you close to a defender? I thought Terry did a heck of a job on the shallow cross and running through the would-be tackler. There's been sometimes we've had that opportunity, and sometimes we haven't. Obviously, you would love for all you guys to touch the ball and go the distance, but that's not real. Those guys get paid as well.